Hey, speaking of TNA, let's change the vibe a little bit. We've been talking about some fucking depressing bullshit. Let's sweeten the vibe a little bit here. All right? You ready? I mean, because this is great stuff. This is great stuff here. This is the kind of stuff that makes you wanna, what does it make you want to do? Whatever it makes you want to do, it'll make you do it. TNA to hold pay-per-views in both Los Angeles and New York. Now, hey, big dog, nice to see you. Welcome to the chat. So I read this and I'm like, oh, good for, I was like, good for TNA. LA, New York, you know, you're getting out of Windsor, you're getting out of Nashville, you know, this good stuff, right? Big stuff, big markets. And I'm excited for them. I'm thinking about this and I'm like, hell yeah, baby. TNA. And then I read a little bit of it. I don't know if you heard. Oh, look, let's read through the article. So we're right. TNA Wrestling is bringing pay-per-views to both Los Angeles and New York next year. Okay, tremendous. After holding a fan poll claiming that it would decide which of the two cities would host an upcoming event, TNA announced today being December 4th. We're recording this on the 5th. TNA announced that it will be running both Los Angeles and New York in 2025. Ha ha ha! You scamps! You scamps, TNA, you run the fan poll to get people to decide, but all the while you're like, tee-hee-hee, we're gonna do both. Oh, you rascals. The promotion said that more than 1 million votes were cast in the poll. 1 million. 1 million votes. No, more than 1 million. TNA's on fire. It's on a roll. It doesn't rate. Its TV ratings don't pop up on any charts anywhere because they're so low, but 1 million people voted. More than 1 million people voted. And there was no overwhelming winner. That's why we had to do both. This is all very above board. This is where this article starts getting dicey. This is where the information starts getting dicey. This is where it starts getting a little dicey. Rebellion will take place from the Galen Center in Los Angeles on Sunday, April 27. The venue is part of the University of South California campus. I was like, wait a second. Galen Center. That's on the higher side of attendance or capacities, right? 10,258. That seems like a lot. that seems like a lot. 10,258 seats? And I'm assuming like that's for like a basketball setup. So you can add more floor seats for a wrestling show. 10,000? Oh yeah, I don't think this is starting to not be a good idea. So what are they doing in New York? The rest of the article. UBS Arena in Long Island, New York will then host Slammiversary 2025 on Sunday, July 20. Wait a second. The UBS Arena? The UBS Arena? Like the UBS Arena? Wait a second. I mean, this is a big building, isn't it? This is a big venue. This is 17,250 for NHL games and up to 19,000 for concerts and other events. What? Is TNA telling me that they're going to fill an arena with 17,000 people at minimum for one of their shows? And that they feel so confident that they'll be able to even fill a 10,000 seat venue in Los Angeles? And what? I don't understand. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm all about wanting to do ambitious things, right? I'm all about wanting to do ambitious things. But holy shit, like, let's be real here. There's a certain form of reality here that has to sink in. And I'm not going to do comparisons to other promotions running similar sized buildings and whatnot. That's whatever. But when in the meantime, when your lead up, look, you are going to have 4 months, 4.5 months, 4 months, more like 5 months, okay? Let's be generous and say 5 months. To get to April 27, okay? You'll have 5 months to get there. And this is what you have to work with to, in the meantime. This is what you're going to have to work with to get you there. You're going to have to give us AJ Francis versus Nick Nemeth. Like, this is the stuff that you are going to have to try and break through with. That to me is like, what does TNA have in its bag of tricks that will create enough buzz and interest to get us to the point where something like Nick Nemeth and AJ Francis will be forgotten and people will be like, no, we've got better than this. What do they got? What's the ace in the hole here? Because I don't see it right now. I don't see what TNA has to offer that can fill out a 10,000 seat arena, much less a near 20,000 seat arena. They have to have something. They have to have like some kind of scheme. There has to be something. Now, chat says, Slammiversary might fill up, to be honest. Slammiversary being the one in LA for the 10,000 seat venue. I would argue that there's maybe a chance, if only, like, I don't entirely disagree. First time TNA running the venue, same thing with the UBS Arena. Sometimes just the allure of a first time thing is enough to get people excited, right? Is enough to get people going, hey, maybe I'll buy a ticket and go see this. It's going to be a historical event. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be big. Sometimes you just want to do that. Excuse me. Look, we saw it with AEW running Wembley. The first year they do tremendous business. They go the second year, they do very strong business, but not as strong. But and you have the rule of diminishing returns that the more you go there, the more you go there to that to a venue, or a town, then the allure sort of goes away, because the excitement of seeing a thing for the first time sort of peters off. So I agree that they have a chance to do a good attendance for both, actually, but 10,000 people, and 18,000 people, no shot. There's no shot they're doing it unless fucking John Cena shows up, right? Like, this is the kind of stuff. Like, John Cena shows up, or there's some finally the talent exchange between TNA and WWE finally pays off for TNA, kind of thing. A lot of the in-ring has been great. I think Joe Hendry is what you mean, gets the title one of those events. Mike Santana has been great too. I really like Mike Santana's move to TNA. Like, it's really reinvigorated him. It's really changed him, and for the best. I think it's good. Joe Hendry will not be around. Joe Hendry's not sticking around. Like, didn't he get his contract shortened? Right? Isn't Joe Hendry's contract? I feel we covered this. Mike Johnson of PW. Okay, so throughout the summer and early fall, Joe Hendry has appeared for WWE and TNA. No Mercy, blah, blah, blah. Sean Ross Sapp via Fightful reports that Hendry has a substantial amount of time remaining on his contract. Mike Johnson previously reported that Hendry's contract is believed to run through 2025. Hendry has been with TNA since 2022, so on and so forth. I swear I saw something saying that his contract was, that he had got his contract shortened. Kind of like Jordan. Or maybe I'm dreaming this now. Like, I was convinced that Joe Hendry had the, why was I convinced that he got it shortened? I was convinced. Anyway, we know Jordan's contract is getting shortened. I don't know. Look, to be fair, right? You always have to give the horse an opportunity to race, right? So to be fair, April is 5 months away. And what's the other one? July, right? This isn't the right article. We're not going back to this. We're not going back to this. And then, in July, well, July is, it's a baby's birth away. Okay. I'm very curious. Look, I'll repeat it just to make sure I'm clear. I think they can't do this without WWE over delivering on the talent exchange thing. I think that's how they do it. If WWE decides to send over some proper talent, then they're starting to have a chance to make it, because this is don't forget, this is a company whose ratings are so low they don't chart. Okay, like no matter how much we want to talk about it, that we want the buzz here, TNA's ratings are so low they don't chart. When is the last time TNA's ratings charted on lists, on ratings rundowns? You want me to tell you when the last time was when Kenny Omega was the world champion. That's the last time. So I'm not saying that, they should have partnered with AEW. That's neither here nor there. But the point is that without extra help, I don't think TNA is cracking anything. That's what I'm saying. And I will give them a chance, right? And I think more successful pro wrestling is good, regardless of what my personal tastes are. So to a degree, I really hope it works out for them, but holy shit. Like, they're not helping their case right now. I mean, come on. This is what the front row tickets for. That guy, was this for what show is this? Is this for the LA show? $600 for a front row seat. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. But we've seen worse. But it's a lot for a TNA show. But we've seen worse. We've seen worse. It's hilarious because the regular stands are $25. Well, I mean, that's the thing is they're playing the game at the same time, right? You kick off your event, you make the announcement, you put this stuff out there. You hope that the rubes, jump in. And you make a couple of hundo just selling your front row tickets, right? I want to meet whoever would pay $250 for a TNA show. Quite frankly, so would I. I'd have some business proposals for them. Look, best of luck to TNA, but reach for the stars, right? Right, folks? Grab that brass ring. Get 10,000 people there in LA. Fill out the UBS arena. Let's go. But hey, here's the thing. The discourse will be absolutely insufferable if the attendances are very, very good. The discourse is going to be insufferable. You've got months to prepare for it, folks.